Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IKEA Table Studio. I'm your man in Japan, Jay Contra, and I've got a special opening video because I went to Mandarake and Akihabara. I picked up some Pokemon cards, and I want to show you what quality you can expect, prices for the, I guess, first 4 sets of Pokemon cards, what to look out for when you're shopping at Mandarake, and basically anything else that comes out. So, maybe some background to this. I am trying to collect the first 4 sets of Japanese Pokemon cards. So that's base set, Jungle, Fossil, and Team Rocket. That's what I'm focusing on right now. I'm only really looking to do binder collections, so I'm not really looking for high-grade PSA 9 or 10 cards. I'm just looking for whatever I can find in a binder that looks nice. So we're going to open this up. I will hopefully read some of the labels to you and show you what you should look out for. Alright, it's not the prettiest opening, but whatever. Get better as we go on. So what did we get first? Okay, so we've got Mr. Fuji Dojin. So we've got here the card. So these cards I found... Alright, here's what you do. You go into the Mandarake. This is true of all of the Mandarakes that I've been in so far. You go in, you go to their card area. They will have both the showcase that has all the very expensive cards, all the high-grade cards, or you can go to the binders, which will be nearby. In the binders, you can find some very good quality cards in there. They're just not going to be very expensive. Let's see, Fuji Dojin, this is an uncommon from Fossil. Let's see what the label says. There's going to be a couple of things to look out for. So here we go. Let's look at this. It's Fuji Dojin. I bought this for 150 yen, tax separate. So this is another thing to remind you of, is because, so for the longest time, you could find prices in Japan would include tax, because taxes had stayed at the same rate for, I want to say, like 10 years or so. But in the last, actually ever since I've come to Japan, so 7 or 8 years now, tax has actually gone up like in 2% increments. So you see the kanji here says tax separate. And so it's 150 yen. That means it's going to be, the final price will be 165 yen. Today the exchange rate is like 108, 109 yen to the dollar. So it's going to be about $1.30, $1.40. Now the other things to look out on this. So what we've got, let's see. So we've got the name of the card, Fuji Dojin, trainer, the type of the card, and then we have the actual set. So we've got, so another good thing to know is that this is what it's, Q-Ura. So this is referring to the old backs of the Japanese cards. I don't have any new cards to compare it with, but this is the old style back of the Japanese cards. This is roughly equivalent to the WotC era in America, or the English Pokemon release. It's Japan's version of the WotC era, these old backs here. So we've got the Q-Ura old back, and then we've got the third set, and that is Fossil. It's like, what, Mystery of the Fossil, I think? So what we're, oh yeah, sorry. And the most important is we've got the, I guess you could say, the quality, the grading. This here is what, Nami-Jo, or I don't know how to say this properly, but when you read it, it means that it's above average. So let's see what above average means to Mandarake. So the weird thing is that PSA, or not weird, but I guess recent development in terms of Japanese card collecting, is that PSA recently opened an office in Tokyo, meaning that I think you're going to start seeing more Japanese cards graded in Japan, because right now and in the past, 20, 30 years in terms of Pokemon card collecting, is you would go to Japan, find cards in very good condition but ungraded. You would take those back to America, have them graded, and that's how you would make a big profit. Now let's see, hopefully my lamp is showing this properly. Let me move it around a little bit so you might get a better idea. Hopefully, yeah, sorry, let me bring the brightness down on this, just so you're not getting the colors washed out by my camera. So let's look at the surface. The surface looks good, sorry for the glare. Some scratches, you can see kind of there's a dent in the middle here. I mean, not a dent, but this would probably be a PSA 8 if I had to guess. There's definitely some edge wearing. The corners look good. Let's see the back. Oh yeah, no, the back is really scratched up. This probably saw some play. But again, it's for the binder. It doesn't really matter that much. I hope you can see there's some corner wear there, scratches on the back. So, but $1.50 for this uncommon card, perfectly happy to pay it. I've actually almost, have I completed my fossil collection? I'm not sure. So let's move Fuji Dojin aside. Actually, I'm going to turn these over just so that they remain a mystery. So here we've got Pokemon Trader. This is a rare from the base set, illustrated by Ken Sugimori. Looking at the cost. So this cost 300 yen. It's about $3 if you include tax. This is another above average. The other important thing to note is that, interestingly enough, they will actually qualify the difference between the base set Japanese and the first edition base set Japanese. For those of you who don't know, the base set in Japan, there wasn't the original printing, Japan's first edition. It's really the only first edition for a bunch of the first few sets. And it's not even technically a first edition because it's not really acknowledged as such. But these are the cards, these are the base set cards that do not have the rarity symbol here on the bottom. If you can see here, this one obviously does, meaning it's considered a reprint, but I'm not looking for first edition cards. I don't really care that much. I just want to have the Pokemon Trader. And again, this is rated as above average, Nami-jo, as I'm going to pronounce it, although I'm probably wrong. Someone can perhaps correct my reading of the kanji in the comments. I actually think this card is in significantly better shape. Just looking at it, the edge wear isn't so bad. I want to say PSA 8 again, simply because I'm actually starting to see a bunch of sort of like nicks in the card. I don't know if you can see them on the camera with the glare, but there's definitely some minor indentations on the surface of the front. The gloss is still there though. The back is actually in much better condition, not too many scratches. A few pieces of edge wear. You know, if someone could tell me what they think this would be in terms of PSA, I would love to know, because I have not graded any PSA cards. I've only really, technically I've been collecting cards for like 25 years now. In terms of actually buying them, but I've only been seriously collecting for the last few years, and Pokemon has only been for the last year or so, except for that brief stint when I was a kid when I collected up to Neo. Looking at the edges, great condition, not yellowed, so maybe something, I'll talk about that if we get to the holographics. So there's the Pokemon Trainer. Let's see what we can bring up next. Okay, so here we go. Here's Porygon from Team Rocket. I'm very, very close to completing my Team Rocket set. I actually think all I need is Dark Charizard at this point. So here we go. Oh, I didn't even look at the label. So what we'll do is put the card down. So Porygon, this is from the 4th set, Team Rocket. $1.50 for an uncommon card. And this is it. So here's a good kanji to know. This is Bihin. Sorry, hopefully you can see that. It's basically, literally, it's like beautiful product, beautiful thing. So let's see what this is the top grade at Mandarake. We're not talking above average, folks, here. We're talking what I guess they would consider to be mint condition. And I hope I don't scratch it by touching it. I've made a huge mistake. I should have put down the mat. I don't want to adulterate the quality of this quality review. The quality of the quality review, folks. And actually looking at it, yeah, this is in really, really good shape. You can see there's a couple of scratches on the surface. Someone used and moved around this card. Oh no, this isn't even uncommon, excuse me. So it's $1.50 for a common card. Huh, okay, but I had a hard time finding this. I've been looking for this forever. I've actually found the Dark Charizard, I just didn't buy it. I couldn't find Porygon freaking anywhere. Let's check the back. Good shape, like almost no edge wear. This is fantastic. It's a little ding up here. A cup, yeah, I think the back is really killing this. I'm guessing this saw a little bit of play, or someone moved this around a little bit, because the front is, yeah, in very good condition. However, the back is a little bit rough, Okay, so $1.50 for an uncommon rocket, or for a common rocket card. Interesting. Now here's the big boy. This is going to be interesting because this should be top quality. Here we've got Fossil Mew. I actually looked online to see what the American price for this would be. I could not find on eBay an English Mew from Fossil. It's crazy. Look at that foiling. Oh my god. This is what I love. You know, the modern Pokemon cards are great, but honestly, they cannot hold a candle to the old holo foils. I don't know. I don't really like the current foils that they've got in Pokemon. I'm gonna put this on the card case just so that we can look at the label. So here we go. Mew. How much did Mew cost? Mew was 500 yen. It's about $5 if you include the tax, and it's rated at Bihin, meaning beautiful. This should be what they consider a mint. Is it going to be more mint than Porygon? Let's find out. So if we look, I'm trying to look at it. I'm not looking at it through the camera. Oh my god, look at that foiling. I love, oh my god, yeah, it's a bit blinding when you shine it through. Actually, this is really good. I don't know if, I hope you can see this. You can kind of see on the edges. I don't know if it's edge wear. Remember, these cards are like 20 years old at this point, so I'm not expecting anything to be in pristine, superb condition. But you can see some of the foil glinting out from the sides. At least I can see that in person. I don't know if you can see that on camera. The surface, the front, oh my god, this is, yeah, this is almost perfect. There's a couple of things where you can, a couple of almost microscopic, you know, we're talking nano, like a nanometer in terms of the small glints. It's like smaller than glitter of what's poking out on the sort of text area. So this impressive front. Let's look at the back. Would you call this light played? I'm not sure. If you were going to grade this like TCG player quality guidelines, some scratches. This got moved around. This is not necessarily pack fresh. Hopefully, yeah, okay, sorry. The glare for the camera and the glare for what I'm seeing in person are very different. So I apologize if I'm taking too much time looking on the edges and it's not very relevant for you because you can't really see it with the quality of the camera. But looking at the back, it's got scratches. It's fine. I don't even know what PSA grade this would be. Maybe a PSA 7. Maybe I've seen the PSA 10. I think I found a Japanese version on eBay that was going for like $200. I don't know if it's actually worth that much or not. I couldn't tell you. Because what I'm interested in is just binder collecting. Like I've said probably 5 times now. So $5 for a fossil holographic. A little bit of background of what's going on in the Japanese Pokemon card collecting, especially these sort of old back cards, is there's been a huge explosion in terms of the first edition, the first printing of the base set, but everything else is still really affordable. There's really no super expensive card. Really anything above $15. Outside of anything in the first, I want to say, even up to the Neo Destiny, whatever the last Neo set was. Everything is pretty much, except for the Charizards, underneath $10. I'll let you know if I find anything more expensive as I go in. Although I want to say the vending machine sets, which, I mean, are the coolest set, those get a little bit expensive in terms of the common and the regular cards, but otherwise, it's still a very affordable time to pick up these old cards. Now I can start to see there's a little scratch here now upon closer inspection. I don't think I would necessarily want to get this graded. I don't think it's a PSA 9. It's not pack fresh, but still a quality card. Another thing I would look out for, and something I should have mentioned when these were still in their sealed cases, is that a lot of these stores that you'll buy cards from here in Japan aren't really climate controlled. One shop that has a lot of availability, but I would probably never buy from, is the Surugaya in Akihabara, because all of their cards are stored on the first floor of a building that does not have much insulation, does not have much climate control. Meaning that during rainy season in June, all of the holographic cards in there are going to start bending. Now, I'm not going to insult Mew by, oh, you can tell there's a little bit of a bend, but that's probably just from the fold, or just from being, 20 years old. But what'll often happen is, maybe I can demonstrate with this package here. So what'll happen is normally a holographic card, even a regular card, will be flat. Let's just pretend that this is perfectly flat. But what happens is, as they absorb the humidity, which happens all the time, even up here in the north in Tokyo, as opposed to where I used to live in the south, what'll happen is during the rainy season, when it's raining literally nonstop for like 2 weeks at a time, the humidity starts to seep into the holographic cards, where I think it's the holographic foiling, because it's a different material from the cardboard back. You get, it's like it expands at a different rate than the cardboard, leading to bending. And so you'll have cards that are priced at full value, but honestly are not really worth that to me. Because sure, you can maybe put them under some books, you can flatten them over time, but that's not something I really want to do. I don't want to compromise the integrity of the card. Maybe someone could give me some insight on how to prevent humidity and moisture from ruining and curling your cards. I've heard about putting them near bowls of rice because the rice will absorb the humidity. I don't know. That's you know, for living here as long as I have, I should probably know more about how to save precious valuables from the awful Japanese weather. But for now, I've probably spent more time than I should have just opening 4 cards for Mandarake. Highly recommend you go there if you're in Japan, especially if you're looking for Pokemon cards. If not, just look there, see all the cool stuff that's there. There's a lot of great collectibles in terms of video games, cards, toys. This is just a fantastic visit. I've been your man in Japan, Jay Contra, saying thanks for watching, see you next time, and mahalo.